Did you just post that it's...
No, not yet. I'm waiting until we actually... Let's do it, actually.
All right, Matt, you ready?
Yep.
Keep going. All right, and we're on. Welcome, everyone, to the next installment of the Three Amigos radio show. I'm your host, John Weiner, and as always, we're joined by my indomitable co-host, Matt, the Warden of the North Johnson.
Indomitable.
How's it going, Matt?
It's going pretty good. I feel good.
That's good.
We got the pitter patter of little rains.
It's nice. It's
Actually, it's wet and cold, and I'm glad to be inside.
yeah. While we're inside, it's soothing and delightful.
Soothing and delightful. Yes, I have a mug of Joe, a cup of Joe, as they call it.
That's
That's
nice.
that's coffee for all our layman listeners.
For anyone out there who's not experts in the coffee,
In the coffee lingo.
the coffees.
I think. Still no theme song.
Yeah, that's
We'll have it. I promise. And here I am doing a bad thing and making promises on air. I promise we'll have it for next week because. Oh shoot! There's something I wanted to talk to you about before we went on, which was next week.
whether or not we wanted to announce.
Yeah, I think we should announce.
We should.
We'll do it at the end.
Yeah, we won't tell them everything.
See, now they have to listen to the end.
They
to
do.
know this special
They do.
surprise.
They'll never know.
The spooky surprise. Hints galore. But yeah, no theme song. I'm gonna make it work next week for sure.
Do it. We'll do what it takes.
Also, no YouTube channel. I'll make that work too. We're slowly unraveling as the show goes on. We'll get it together. I think we got a good show tonight.
Watch the show collapses like we're a stranded submarine crew. Like we're gonna be at each other's throats, wondering who this saboteur is.
What's the German word for radio show? Because like Das Boot about the submarine.
It's gonna
Das Radio Show.
One of us is a traitor.
Is that?
Was it you?
Is that the premise behind Das Boot?
I don't think so. I think it's just their submarine crew, and it's awful.
Oh.
I don't think there's like a traitor or anything like that. I don't know. I haven't actually seen it.
It's been in my Netflix list for a very long time, but the one they have on Netflix I think is the director's cut, which is actually like 4 hours long.
Wow.
And I'm a busy man.
That's like half the length of one of the Hobbit movies. Oh.
That joke was dumb.
It's topical.
I like those movies.
All right, let's not get into that then.
All right. Do you not like those movies?
All
right,
they were a disappointment. I'll put it that way.
Well, okay. I guess yeah. Let's not go into this now. Maybe later. Maybe another time.
Not in front of the listeners. They don't need this. They don't need to grow up with that baggage.
They already have to deal with us as their pseudo parents. Where do we want to start?
Let me pull up the list. Well, we could jump right into the discussion, or do we want to? No, let's do that. Let's save that.
Save the discussion?
Yeah, because
Okay.
that'll probably take the bulk of our time. Let's do
the mundane.
Yeah, the sort of update, the weekly update stuff.
All right, are we opening with it?
Yeah, I think it's become like our shtick
It kind of has become
by
our
now.
shtick.
So.
Oh, right quick. You can tweet at us, and we actually encourage you. Please do. It's how you can keep in contact with us. I am at Matt from Alaska.
And I'm at John Weinert 1, the number, not the word.
The number, not the word.
But yeah, tweet at us so then we know people are actually listening to our show.
And then sometimes
And it
if
gives
if the stars align, we'll read your tweet on the air through the magic of radio.
And by the stars, we mean we can't think of anything better to do.
Yep. Congratulations, you can be our backup.
So it'll probably happen.
No, but really, it's gonna be a good show.
Yeah.
Promise. Oh, I've done it again. I promised. But I'm actually recording this time. So.
Oh, we didn't miss that out.
Yeah, last week I forgot to record the audio.
We were all kind of out of it.
Yeah.
We were all pretty tired. It was sort of the height of midterms.
Yeah, it was.
I was sick.
You were sick. I remember you being sick. I was there.
Mm-hmm. And they remember too. I'm sure.
Yep. Them Ebola blues.
Oh man, don't even get me started.
Good thing you got over that Ebola, John.
Is that an appropriate joke to make?
Is it? I don't know. I'm not very well versed in Ebola political correctness. So don't go asking me.
All right, I won't.
Cool. Barack Obama, if you're listening, please tell me what to do. Thank you.
Preferably using emojis.
We did talk about that.
It's a callback to last week. If you weren't there, then sorry.
Yeah, sorry. He'll get something. We'll get it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, the update on our favorite subject on this show for some reason.
Yeah. So, Mulaney. There was a new episode. We can talk about that episode, but more importantly, it's been canceled.
Well, I don't know if canceled is like the nomenclature.
Yeah, I mean they were slated to make 16 episodes.
Yes.
And they stopped after making 13.
Yes.
And they're going to air all 13, and then they're not going to make or air anymore.
Do we know if they're not going to make or air anymore?
I know they're not going to make all 16. They're just going to make the 13.
Maybe that sounds a lot like being canceled.
Yeah, I mean maybe if the rest of them air really well, it won't come back.
Which they won't.
They won't,
because that show is bad.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
Unless at this point, unless it becomes the best show that I've ever seen, it can only become slightly more mediocre in my eyes. Also, this week's episode was about Halloween.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Which isn't for another 2 weeks.
That is really weird because it's a weekly show. So it's not like they can't just do one the week of Halloween.
Yeah. Maybe it's not like they have an overarching story that they need to keep up with.
Yeah, well, it's not like they're not on Halloween. So it's not like they didn't want to air it on Halloween when no one would watch it or something.
Yeah. Network politics.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that...
What was...
Maybe they'll just have 2 more Halloween episodes. Like all October are going to be Halloween-themed episodes.
I hope so, because it'll give me something to look forward to next week. The update on Mulaney is that it's bad and canceled. It is joining the elite tier of canceled television. So that's how we'll know it's good. Is that it's canceled. Like that one show.
Firefly?
No, that's not what it's called. It's it's fire. Something about firefighters or something. Just kidding. It's Firefly. Have you seen that show?
Yeah.
Did you like that show?
Yeah.
All right. Me too.
That's like the mythical example of like a canceled show that was good. Like whenever like a discussion about canceled shows comes up, people talk about Firefly.
Well, I mean, there's a reason it's the most famous canceled show ever. Is it? Can you think of another one that's more famous?
Technically, every show that's not running anymore has been canceled, so...
Well, no, like Breaking Bad wasn't canceled. They finished the storyline.
That's true.
Lost wasn't canceled. They just finished the storyline.
I don't know, was Seinfeld canceled?
Was it?
I don't know.
All I know is that the last episode was the one where they got arrested.
Yeah. Shows that were canceled.
I can't imagine that Seinfeld was canceled because that was like the most successful show ever.
Yeah.
Of its time.
Yeah, it seems unlikely. But is this shows that have been canceled or just good shows that have been canceled?
What? That get famous?
That we're talking about right now.
Oh, good. Okay. I mean, there's...
Well, then, never mind. I was going to say, have you heard of Heil, Honey, I'm Home? It's possibly the most infamous...
Yes, I have heard
possibly
of that.
the most infamous show to ever been canceled. Canceled for good reason. It was a sitcom. It was like a standard, like, suburbia sitcom about Hitler and his wife living next door to a Jewish couple.
Yep.
This was a real television show that aired for one episode on British television in the 1970s.
What a time to be alive. For England in the 1970s.
Thanks, Thatcher.
That is a joke that...
Actually,
that
Thatcher was 80s.
I'm on the fringes of understanding that joke.
Well, it's like the Thanks Obama joke.
But about Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, except she was 80s, I think. I'm going to look this up.
Well, you're a history major, so... Little disappointed in your so-called expertise, John.
You probably should be.
Yes, I am. That's not the question here. Did you... What are you looking up?
Oh, no. It was made in 1990.
Wow, you were off by 20 years.
Yeah, I was. Also, it is a 5.4 on IMDb. That's concerning.
That's just mediocre. That's not bad. That's just mediocre. How many episodes did it air?
1.
I want to watch this. We should watch this.
Yeah.
Not now, obviously. Maybe once Mulaney gets canceled and we don't have that to talk about anymore.
Oh, there were 8 episodes made.
Oh.
7 of which were unaired.
Is there like a DVD box set that I can buy?
I don't know.
I actually wouldn't want to because that's too much of a commitment to the show. I just want to see it. Were you at least right about Margaret Thatcher?
Margaret Thatcher was not... I need to see as Prime Minister in 1990.
You need to do that?
I do. I think that's too early. That's too early for Blair. Oh, okay, yeah. That was the transition year. Between Margaret Thatcher and John Major. So...
Oh.
So I wasn't actually completely wrong.
You were just boring?
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Dad. You got a little coffee on your nose there. You might want to clean that off.
Is that like some sort of you've got a plank in your eye kind of thing? You have coffee on your nose?
No, you just got a big gob of coffee on your nose.
Oh.
I'm trying to take you down a peg.
Oh. Thanks, John. This is a radio show, so you can't embarrass me like that.
You messy drinker.
I have a drinking problem. That's it.
You're always spilling.
That's the joke.
This is Mulaney. Because they always explain the joke on that show.
It's that show. We've had long discussions about this show.
Do we actually want to talk about why it's bad, or do we just kind of want to move on? Or
let's just move on.
Yeah, let's talk about.
I honestly never want to. Can we not talk about that show ever again? It's canceled.
I'm not making any promises.
Okay, I'm okay.
Because unlike you, I don't make promises I can't keep on air.
Well, I'm intending on keeping these promises, so technically I haven't made any promises I can't keep. It is possible I've made promises I won't keep. Let's make that distinction very clear.
All right, we'll just have to see how... We'll let the listeners decide on that.
Well, they don't have to decide. They'll know if I lied or not.
Or we could have like a thing on a radio show where they text in.
Well, we are going to do something like that, right?
Yeah.
And also there's Twitter.
At some point on the episode, we will open up the phone for calling in. But not now.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
So, similar, and it's sort of a comparison to Mulaney. Do we want to talk about another show?
Zach Stone?
Yeah. So...
Yes, this is... Yes.
Yeah, so Zach Stone is going to be famous.
It's a show...
I think you know a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I'm the one who actually... I've watched more episodes than you. That wasn't... I'm not trying to put you down. That's just...
would you like to...
I'll take the microphone on the right, and you can take the one on the left.
Yeah.
No, it was a show written and starring the young comedian Bo Burnham, the internet sensation. Not really. He was kind of an internet sensation in like 2007. Is how he got famous. But then he was a stage comedian. He got famous off Vines, I guess, too. Back when Vine was relevant.
He also was a real comedian before that, too. He had, like, specials on Comedy Central.
He's had a special on Comedy Central. He, last year, or earlier this year, actually, he released a very funny, it was a stand-up comedy, but it was kind of like a one-man show, in a way. It was really good. Check it out. But the show is called Zach Stone is Gonna Be Famous. Aired in 2013, which actually surprised me, on MTV. So that's why it was canceled. But it's about this kid, Zach Stone, the year after he graduates high school, and he spends his hard-earned money from all of his high school purchasing a camera crew to follow him around for a reality show, hoping that he'll find some way to be famous from it. It's funny.
Mm-hmm. And do we want to go in, or would you like me to, or would you like to mention some of the similarities to Mulaney that kind of make it hard not to compare them in a way?
No, you can do that.
Okay.
You take that. You seem to know more than I do about that.
They're both shows, like they're both a comedian's show.
Yes.
Like they sort of belong to the comedian that headlines it.
Yes.
And they got it on the strength of the fact that they were a comedian, a stand-up comedian doing that sort of stuff. They both were canceled.
Yes.
After only one season, pretty rapidly. They're both starring and written by the guy.
A genuinely funny person.
Yeah, a really quite funny comedian.
One is multi-camera, one is single camera. Zach Stone is going to be famous as a single camera show.
Yeah, but the big difference really is that one of them is funny, and one of them is not. And it's weird.
It's all in the writing.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe the acting. John Mulaney. None of the actors in that show are very good. In Mulaney are very good.
Which is really interesting because that one's a network show with presumably a lot of resources behind it.
Yeah, Fox. The entirety of Fox behind it.
And Zach Stone was on MTV.
Yeah. Produced by, Bo Burnham is 22.
Is he that young?
He's 22, something like that. His first stand-up show went on Comedy Central when he was 19.
Really?
Yeah, he was touring.
He's 24.
24.
But yeah, that's not a big distinction. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he started his first thing when he was 19, something like that. So yeah, I don't remember what point I was making by saying that.
Just that it's remarkable that
how
much better that is than what Mulaney was, given the resources and talent behind Mulaney.
I really want to know what happened with Mulaney. I want to know what happened, higher up, executive side. I feel like that has to be what happened, because John Mulaney is a good writer. So why is the show so poorly written? Unless it's not written by him. Which wouldn't make any sense to me. Nothing makes sense. The world is backwards.
either
I'm
wasn't...
wearing pants on my head.
It's pretty crazy. You should check out the video later. No, but yeah, either he didn't write it, or he wrote it under heavy influence or duress, or he's just not
to his head.
Or he's just not as good of a writer as we thought.
It has a 3.8 on IMDb, 38 Metascore.
That's about half the score that
of Hi, Oh, Honey, I'm Home.
That's right. Mulaney is literally worse than Hitler.
The show is worse than Hitler. Oh yeah. Yeah, it says I'm on the. Okay, where does it say writing? Production. Oh, here's a funny thing that I noticed at the end of it. It's produced by Lorne Michaels.
Yeah, he's the guy who does SNL, right?
Yes, he produced SNL he's done it for 40 years.
I mean, how much do you think is just the multi-camera format? And
I don't know.
And the fact that they're trying to make it like that,
I've kind of always hated multi-camera format, so I've never found it to be as good as single camera.
But I wonder if that's part of it, or...
I don't know why we still do... I mean, I know why we still do multi-camera. It's cheap, but it's not as good. I've never found it.
I think Mulaney did it intentionally. As
think?
I think he said in an interview, it's like a throwback to the kind of television he liked watching growing up.
He liked watching bad television? Okay, it says the first episode and the second episode were both written by John Mulaney. Third one was written by Dan Mintz. I don't know who that is.
He actually was in the episode. He was that one writer who got
really?
fired.
Oh.
Which is incredibly ironic
That
because
is
he
very
probably
ironic.
got fired.
Because he probably doesn't have a job. So, I don't know. This show is a train wreck. Watch Zack Stone is going to be famous if you want to watch a funny show. Or Scrubs.
Yeah, let's just list funny shows. There's Seinfeld. Oh wait, no, actually, we're gonna get to that.
Were we going to talk about how Mulaney is just Seinfeld?
We are, but I was talking about when we're gonna do the discussion later about.
Oh.
But yeah, do we want to talk about how Mulaney is just Seinfeld again?
I mean, I'm pretty sure we've already said it.
Yeah.
But Mulaney is just Seinfeld.
But yeah, but without
bad.
But without any of the good actors or the good writing.
It's bad Seinfeld. It's dark universe Seinfeld.
It's like Seinfeld, but they all have goatees. They're evil.
It's the mirror universe.
It is. Yeah.
This is a Star Trek reference.
It is. Yeah.
I'm glad that we've thrown this in there. I'm
Yeah.
a fan of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Shout out to Star Trek. Thanks for being everything that you are. Ooh, brought that joke back.
Oh yeah. I'm sure your mom will be happy about that.
I know she's listening, so I gave it a week's reprieve, and now it's back. Just kidding, it's not back. I do what I want.
Joel Benson just tweeted, @JohnWeiner1, can anyone truly be worse than Hitler? Hashtag apparently, hashtag Ebola jokes, hashtag the three amigos.
I think that's a question worth discussing.
It is.
Stalin is my answer.
Stalin is, in fact, worse than Hitler.
Stalin is actually worse than Hitler.
He is, yeah.
So Joel, you're wrong. It's Stalin.
Arguably, Mao was worse because he killed more people than
Mao
either.
Tse-tung.
But his was largely due to incompetence as opposed to intentional, so you could argue that he's not quite as bad. Because he didn't mean to kill millions of people.
Wait, did he... What?
Yeah, so Mao's like policy, like his... So, you know, Stalin and Hitler intentionally killed millions of people,
Yeah.
you know, for funsies or
Pogroms.
whatever on purpose. Yeah,
Holocaust.
stuff like that. But Mao basically just was kind of incompetent, and he had like all these plans that didn't work, and so then there wasn't any food, and millions of people died.
Oh.
Just kind of from incompetence. Which doesn't make it okay, but makes him arguably not as bad as Stalin, who intentionally starved millions of his own people.
Why are we talking about this? This got really dark.
I don't know.
Let's move on.
Because I'm a history major and I'm used to it.
See, the problem here is that I'm genuinely interested in history, so I will listen to you talk about things like this, but nobody else wants to. Let's. Do you want to move on to discussion thingy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that was not related to the show.
Sorry, I know.
I'm sorry.
I was peeking at your screen.
I was on Facebook. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm wasting your time and mine.
Discussion. Do we want to talk about the phone?
Yeah. So maybe when we're done with the discussion, or
Oh, okay. Yeah. We can
yeah,
do
just
that
some
at the
point.
end.
You know,
We'll do it. Let's try to keep it like 9:45 by the time we bring it up.
for the phone.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Or like at 9:45 if it's not brought up.
Yeah, that's a good
Why are we
idea.
talking about this?
Okay. So we're gonna talk about our favorite things.
Yes.
Which actually makes me really wish that auxiliary chord worked.
Yep.
'Cause this would
we
be
would play. We would definitely play our favorite thing.
The song from the Sound of Music. Yeah.
Is it from Sound of Music?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like they're all sad because there's Nazis or whatever, and then they're like, what do you do when you're sad? And they're like, I sing about my favorite things.
You brought that up so flippantly. Oh, you know, Nazis. Man, we are right back to Nazis.
It's
let's
welcome
move
to
away.
the Three Amigos Nazi Hour.
Don't call it that. Okay, where do you want to start with our favorite things? I've prepared a list of my favorite movies and my favorite bands.
Oh, I didn't prepare a list. I'm just gonna.
I have to because I have too many favorite things.
Oh, okay.
I didn't make a list of favorite books because I don't read. I can't remember the last book I read, so.
Oh wow. Wow. Okay.
Well, like, I mean, I can't remember the last book That's not true. I don't.
Was
remember.
it?
Okay, did
Did it involve puppets?
What?
Because it was a kid's book.
Oh. Well, you should have said did it fold out like a puppet?
Oh, I should.
Better joke.
How colorful was it?
No, I remember one of the last books I remember reading for pleasure was actually a novelization of the Halo video game series. I think there were like 6 or 7 books that were out when I was reading them, and I read all of them that were out. Embarrassing fact of the day, I'm actually a little bit embarrassed to admit it. But I like things.
It's okay.
You can't judge me.
It's alright. Things are gonna get a little embarrassing here because we're gonna talk about favorite things, and
Okay.
and not everyone's gonna like them.
Where do you want to start?
Do you want to start with movies? Your favorite movies? Because that's the one I have at the top of my list there.
Yes, but the second one on your list is books, and that's going to be a short topic.
Okay, we can talk about our favorite books. What are some of your favorite books, Matt?
The novelization of the Halo video game series.
Okay, all right.
See, the problem is, actually, A Song of Fire and Ice. That is actually, I'm stupid. That's the last book I've read for pleasure, and that was recently.
And there's a little reference there in my name for you at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, that is how topical. Warden of the North.
Warden of the North. Because you're from Alaska.
Yes, I am.
That was the
Twitter
joke.
It was
like
a joke.
Mulaney.
We have to stop explaining our jokes. We can't be like him. Since you're a reader, I assume you're well read.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? I made a joke.
Yeah,
of your
no,
name.
I got it. Yeah, we all
What's
we all heard.
What's your favorite book, John?
That's tricky. That's tricky, Matt. So I'm just gonna list books I really like because I don't think I could pick one that's my favorite.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
That's probably
everything.
same here. Okay. Recently I read Perdido Street Station by China Mieville is his name.
That's an odd name.
He's an odd man.
Oh.
And he writes odd books.
Oh.
But they're very good. It's sci-fi?
Okay.
So I don't know if you know this, but like sort of the science fiction and fantasy genres there's a lot of crossover,
Yeah.
especially more recent
Yeah,
sort of work, and so a lot of times they're lumped together into the same genre.
I get that.
So it's sort of sci-fi / fantasy.
Okay. I can dig it.
But yeah, Meeble creates this really interesting, incredibly intricate, in-depth world, and just kind of pulls you into it. And there's all this stuff going on.
I like that.
And it's just, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's a really good book, and he's a good writer.
I'll take your word for that.
I recommend it.
Maybe I'll read it. Do you have them?
I do not. You can get it from the library.
Ooh, tough break there, John. I don't go to the library.
Where I got my.
Just kidding. That's not necessarily true. I mean, it's been mostly true in my entire life, but it's not entirely true.
Where's some other good books? If we're talking weird sci-fi, there's Gun with Occasional Music by what?
That's just an odd name for a book.
It's by Jonathan Lethem. It's like a.
Have we talked about this guy before?
I don't know. I doubt it.
Okay.
And it's sort of a noir, like detective novel, but it's also
of course you would read something
sci-fi.
like that.
I'm not sure. I don't even know what that means.
You're into noir stuff.
Yeah, it's all right.
Or at least I always imagined you were.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, apparently I've ascribed something onto you that isn't true, and I apologize.
I mean, it's not like completely wrong, but I don't want them to get an image of me like walking around in like a trench coat and fedora all day, like
just looking for pools of shadow to hang out in.
like narrating my own life.
It's too bright here.
Like I'm a hard-boiled gumshoe.
The fact that you use the phrase hard-boiled gumshoe tells me that I'm probably a little bit correct.
Okay, you're not. I'll put it this way: you're not wrong.
Okay, I like not being wrong. I'm okay with not being wrong.
But yeah, it's sort of set in this dystopian future
what a
where
buzzword.
it's not a buzzword.
It is a buzzword.
Is it a buzzword?
It's at this point, yeah. Like with young adult novels.
Oh yeah, I guess.
Hunger Games. I'm talking.
Well, this book.
Talking about the Hunger
Well,
Games.
this book is
not
probably
a young adult.
At least 10 years old, and it's not young adult.
Is it adult?
Yeah. It's from 1994, so.
Great year.
93 was better, in my opinion.
Whatever, John.
But there's talking animals, and there's.
I am on it.
There's sentient babies, and lots
Babies
of
aren't sentient.
Well, like, they have like adult brains.
Okay.
They're like adult.
That's scary.
intelligent babies.
That's weird.
They're all alcoholics because they don't like their lives. Because they can't deal with being an adult as a baby.
That's
And so
very funny, actually.
Yeah. And there's lots of drugs.
Oh, perfect.
Because it's a dystopian future, and the government gives out drugs to keep everyone compliant. It's good. It's a good book.
Yeah, everything that you said sounds like it would be great. I'm only kind of being sarcastic. It's interesting. I'll give you that.
It's a very interesting book. I need to read more by Lethem. I haven't gotten around to it.
Joel Benson just tweeted at me, at Matt from Alaska. Whispering is 100 times creepier on the radio. Hashtag the Three Amigos.
Wait, when did you whisper?
Like a minute ago. I
Oh,
don't remember
okay.
what I said. But I whispered it, and I was like, that was probably really weird. And look, it was. Don't do it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's creepy, apparently. We shouldn't be creepy.
All right. But yeah, I like that book. Actually, this is a mistake because I might take a while talking about books I like.
Let's move on, because I have nothing. I honestly, although I see you have The Hobbit on there.
I do like The Hobbit. I like
read
all the Lord of the Rings, Tolkien.
I have read bits and pieces of The Return of the King, and I really liked it. Not enough to read the entire thing. It's a big book, but I liked what I read. I like descriptions, and that's pretty much what Tolkien does.
Oh, another good sci-fi book is A Canticle for Leibowitz, which is a post-apocalyptic.
Okay, you're like just flying on through the buzzwords.
This book was written in the 50s.
Okay, I'll
It's
give you that.
it's not a buzzword.
Actually, post-apocalyptic was more popular like
Yeah,
3 or 4
but it was all
years ago.
zombies, mostly, wasn't it?
Not necessarily.
Oh, well, this is about
But yeah.
There's a nuclear war wipes out civilization, and it's about monks and monasteries that preserve knowledge.
Oh.
But again, because that kind of happened, with after the fall
Yeah,
of the
like
Empire.
yeah.
But it's
I
like,
think I know that.
but it's like monks like copying down like diagrams of like circuits
Huh.
and stuff,
That's really interesting.
and it is pretty interesting. And then it follows like the development.
They should make it into a movie so that I learn about it. Just kidding. I could read it someday.
But it's a good book.
What's it called?
A Canticle for Leibowitz.
Huh, that's quite the name. I'll have to remember that because that sounds very interesting. Books are interesting. You should read, kids.
Yeah.
Don't be like me.
Stay in school. Just look at him. Do you want to turn out like
Yeah.
Matt here?
Here, let me look scruffy. I'm wearing a hoodie. Here, I'll put the hood up.
Ooh.
There now.
Oh man, yeah.
Now I'm practically homeless. Let's move on. Let's move on to
Joel
something.
Benson wants to know my thoughts on Tolstoy. Haven't actually read him, to my embarrassment. I've heard he's very good.
He wrote War and Peace, correct?
He did, and he really liked peasants.
He liked peasants?
Yeah, he believed that they were a source of wisdom.
I don't think Tolstoy ever met peasants.
I don't know, he might have.
Well, he lived in Russia. They had a lot of peasantry. He lived in Russia, right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Tolstoy was Russian.
That's what I thought.
He was a Russian man.
I guessed with the name Tolstoy. Although, I mean, there's a whole bunch of Slavic and Russian-sounding names that aren't from Russia, so I'm inexperienced. Anyway,
Let's move on from books.
yeah, I have nothing to contribute because I'm an illiterate person, basically.
It's okay. You'll outclass me when we get to movies.
I will for sure outclass you. I am a film major. This is what I do. I was checking our time.
Okay. So we got books. Do you want to talk about movies now?
Yeah, let's do
you
it.
can go.
This list is nowhere near comprehensive. This is just what I wrote down like today. And it's also in no particular order. But I'll pick out some of my favorites actually. Children of Men. Have you heard of that?
I've heard it's good. My roommates watched it, I think, last year, and I had homework, and I couldn't watch it with them.
Nerd. Here I go with the buzzwords. It's a kind of a post-apocalyptic dystopian. Ooh, both.
I've never heard those. It's just interesting. I've never heard that those were buzzwords before.
I kind of made that up.
I mean, I believe you. I
mean,
don't really keep in with what the kids are doing these days.
I think
With
like
their hippity
dystopian
hops.
stuff is kind of getting more popular. Like 1984 influenced stuff, I think.
You mean the book that was written in 1948?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it was dystopian.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not. If it's 60 years old, I don't know if it's a buzzword, really.
No, it's become a buzzword.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Things
okay.
can do that, John.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if you know this, but history moves in cycles and it tends to repeat itself.
All right. Okay. Well, only if you don't know it.
Oh, that is the saying.
Yeah.
Anyway, Children of Men. It's about I don't remember when it was set. Like 20 or 30 years in the future. That's probably more like 20 years now in the future since it's been a while.
Mm.
But it's about for some unknown reason all of mankind. They've lost. I don't know what the technical term is, but they're no longer fertile. They're infertile. That's the word.
Oh, good job.
So they can't. So there's no. You can't have kids, and so like that kind of throws, like, the economy and like everything into the tubes, and like there's war and stuff, and it's about this one guy in England, and they find like some girl who is pregnant with a child, and so it's about that. It's a neat idea, but I like the cinematography in it.
Mm.
It does a lot of it's by Alfonso Cuarón, I think is his name. He recently did Gravity, which was a good theater experience.
That was
an okay movie.
I enjoyed Gravity.
I did too.
Quite a bit.
I watched it in theaters with my mother. But he does a lot of one-er takes, like really long shots, and they're complex and super neato, and I like that kind of thing. I'm a sucker for it because I'm just a stupid film student. What a peon I is. I am a nerd.
A nerd.
But yeah, I like that movie. Here, take a look at my list,
and I'll just
pick one out that you've seen, because that will enhance discussion time.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
absolutely! I think that's one of the best film adaptations of a book.
There are a lot of people who would disagree with you.
I mean, for how well the movie was done and how well it adapted the material. Because I think there's movies that...
Well, I guess you've read all the Lord of the Rings, haven't you?
Why not? Sure.
I guess you haven't.
It's my secret shame, Matt, and now you've laid it bare.
I'm so sorry. I couldn't be more sorry. No, that Lord of the Rings, oh my, I'm sure we could do an entire show devoted to me talking about. That was probably the first, like, favorite movies, like, this is my favorite movie I've ever seen. I wasn't allowed to watch The Lord of the Rings until, I think it was between when the second one came out and before the third one came out. Between then, I was allowed to watch them. Thanks, Mom. Just kidding. I love you, Mom. And then after like the third one came out and it had the extended edition, that was pretty much all I watched. And like I would watch like all the special features over and over again. I've probably watched Lord of the Rings and Lord of the Rings special features for like over 100 hours. I had to have. I watched it over and over again. And now I'm a film major. What does that say? I don't know.
It says something.
It's probably influenced by something.
I just gotta say, I really enjoyed the soundtrack
of
that film. I think
that
might be one of my favorite. That's
yeah.
one that may be my favorite soundtrack of any.
It's a very worthy statement.
Film series or film or whatever.
Everything about that movies. And I can see why you would be disappointed with The Hobbit.
Yeah.
I will say I was disappointed in them then too, because they weren't like the Lord of the Rings at all, but I liked them as their own thing, and regardless of the quality, regardless of the weird special effects, regardless of how poorly adapted it was, regardless that they split it into 3 movies because cash grab, I'm still ridiculously entertained each time I watch them.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the first 2, and I'm gonna see the third one.
I know.
So as much as I'm complaining,
that's the thing.
They're still taking my money.
Everyone who complains, they're still gonna see it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna see it.
You're not gonna not. Let's tone down the double negatives, John.
It's getting a little too negative in here. All right. What else have I seen? Guardians of the Galaxy. I really enjoyed that movie.
I really did too. I don't.
Pretty Star Warsy.
See, I didn't even. Yeah, a little bit. That movie was entertaining.
Yeah, it wasn't a great movie.
I mean, see, this is the thing that a bit annoys me a little bit. People say that movie wasn't great, and I've heard a lot of people say that it was just entertaining. To which I posit
Like, what else should a movie be?
What should a movie be other than entertaining? And you don't. Art obviously would be
or like
quality storytelling, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's all about entertainment. That's not true. It's about whatever.
Why even live if we're not entertained? Are you not entertained, Matt?
Oh, I should have put Gladiator on here. That's just a really good movie. Have you seen Gladiator?
Yeah.
Okay. You hesitated.
That's because I was reading a tweet.
Oh, okay. Was it interesting enough to read aloud?
I'm not sure. It was more confusing.
Okay, don't read it. What else on this list do you see? Or do you want to move on to...
I like Seven.
That's a
I
good
don't know if we
movie.
should talk about it.
We won't, but that's a good movie.
You already have Gone Girl on there?
Hey.
The movie we watched last night.
That one we also can't talk about on air. But it's by my favorite director, David Fincher. And I was thoroughly immersed in that movie and was very disappointed when it was over. I'm a sucker. David Fincher, he pulls all my strings. He pulls my artist string. He pulls my bump the mic, John. Bump the mic, John. Sure, do that.
I'd like to apologize to everyone who just had to experience that.
I'm gonna have to listen to that later. I'll tell you how that was. Yeah, watch David Fincher, guys. He's really good. He's not as cool as Michael Bay. Actually, you know what? Stop, Matt. I'm tired of people talking about Michael Bay. It annoys me.
I like Grand Budapest Hotel as well.
I have such mixed feelings on Wes Anderson. On one hand, I don't want to like him because he's just so hipster, and like
he's hip.
He's so quirky, and it just annoys me that he's so quirky. But his movies they're just good. Stop it, Wes.
I think he's one of my favorite directors.
I
mean, I don't know that.
He's a good director. He's not one of my favorites, but I can't hate him. I want to hate him. I don't. He's too good. But Grand Budapest Hotel was a really good movie.
I enjoyed that movie a lot.
Remember that scene when it's who stars in that movie?
Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes. I don't know how to say his name. And then Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
They're like on the top floor of the hotel, and like everyone starts shooting at each other. That scene was so funny.
Yeah. Oh man.
Have you seen any of Edgar Wright's films? Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz.
Oh yeah, I see you.
The World's End.
I've seen Shaun of the Dead and I've seen Hot Fuzz.
Okay, we're gonna watch The World's End together.
Okay.
Just because I really like, he's probably the best director doing like visual comedy. He's really good, and his editing is like, it's like spot on. Here you have me talking about it. Look at me.
I liked Hot Fuzz better than Shaun of the Dead.
I did too. Shaun of the Dead is probably regarded as as a classic, I think.
Oh, is that just because it's older, I wonder?
I don't know. I think it's because
it's
it was topical at the time. Like zombies was kind of the new thing when it came out. I think Hot Fuzz is funnier and a better film all around. But Shaun of the Dead is still really funny. We'll have to watch The World's End. The World's End is darker and not as funny. It's actually, that's not fair to say. It's still really funny.
We should, you ready to move on from movies?
Yes, I am. Please, get me off it.
All right, you want to do bands, TV, or the third topic that we may not want to talk about?
No. Let's just tell them what the third topic is.
It's video games.
It's video games.
We're nerds.
The thing, man, video games is such a niche. Is that how you say the word? Niche? Niche?
If you want to sound condescending.
Okay, video games is such a niche. None of our audience is in that niche. It's just us. We'll have to talk about this on our own, I think.
Yeah, let's just have that conversation after the show.
We should just start a second show.
Well, maybe some of my friends from high school are listening. Maybe they might be interested.
Well,
but
then
no
we'll
one
make
else.
Special. Maybe we'll make a Christmas special.
Oh, about like what we want for Christmas? Our favorite video games that we already own?
But let's do bands, because the two things I'm like
everyone likes music.
On top of.
That's like part of the human condition.
Film and music. Books, and then books are not my thing.
Favorite band?
Radiohead. Without a doubt, I've been listening to Radiohead since I was like 11. My sister introduced me to them. I say I've been listening to them since I was 11. I didn't like them until I was 13. My sister, I heard 2 songs by them, and they're probably 2 of some of their weirdest songs. I don't know why my sister chose those 2 to introduce me to them. And I was like, this is weird, I don't like this. And then 2 years later, I was like, this is amazing, I like this. Radiohead, do you know, have you...
I don't know Radiohead very well. I mean, I've heard they're good. Is OK Computer's their big one, right?
It depends on who you ask. Radiohead fans are very divisive.
I think that's the one that people who aren't into Radiohead say is
They either say OK Computer or Kid A.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Those are probably 2 of their most famous.
Those are like the big ones.
Kid A is more experimental than OK Computer. OK Computer is like a little bit experimental, but also kind of alternative rock kind of stuff that they kind of started out with. I honestly, once again, I could talk about Radiohead for like half an hour. So let's move on.
You want to know my
yes, I do.
Okay. The Decemberists.
I know a song by them.
Which one?
I can't remember the name.
What do you remember? What it's about?
I don't. Look here. Keep talking. I'll find it.
They're sort of. Oh man, they're almost.
Calamity Song.
Oh, Calamity Song. That one.
I really like that song.
That song is a. Oh, I'm gonna sound so smug or whatever. It's so hip. That song is about the book Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace.
Cool.
Which I haven't read. That's the kind of book that you read so you can brag about how you read it. But I haven't read it, so I'm not going to do that. Someone tweeted if they want to know, or that they watched. Someone tweeted that they watched Moonrise Kingdom recently.
That's a good movie.
I really liked Moonrise Kingdom. I enjoyed it. It had a nice color palette. It wasn't my favorite Wes Anderson.
He does a lot with color stuff.
But I enjoyed it greatly.
Hey, do you want to bring up the phone since we have like 14 minutes left?
Yeah, okay. So if you have anything you want to contribute, if you have a favorite movie, book, TV show, band that you want to talk about, you think one of our choices is dumb, you think one of our choices is great, you want to encourage us, whatever, you want to say anything, you can call in on the phone. One caveat is that it's kind of hard to hear over the phone.
We think.
And there's like a couple second delay.
And we've never used it before.
So bear with us for all of those.
If you do call.
If you want to call, even after all that, then the number is 503-554-3000.
That number was...
That number was 503... I was thinking about doing that. That number was 503-554-3000.
So yeah, feel free to call in. We'll try to make it work. It might not.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. We're just going to keep talking.
Decemberists. They're like... I love the Decemberists. I'm almost embarrassed that I do because...
Never be
embarrassed. They're so Portland. They're
they're
really?
From
Portland.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're... If you wanted to make up a band from Portland, it would be the Decemberists. But their music is basically like books.
They like books?
It's like book music.
They're like written after books?
No, they're just like, they're very literary.
Oh, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, they
like that.
And they're folky. I like the folk.
You do like folk music.
I like the folk.
You're such a hipster, John.
A little bit sometimes. In my musical taste,
everybody is a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that, guys. Be who you are.
Musically, I am a bit of a hipster.
Just a bit. Excuse me, John. Mute your laptop.
I'm sorry.
I cannot believe you. Here I'm going to talk about. Let's crank up the pretension in here, and talk about a band that I know that we both have listened to. The now I think they're pretty well known for being proto hipsters, but Neutral Milk Hotel.
Neutral Milk Hotel. Oh.
That is now we're getting into some pretense.
Yeah, although they're kind of like the hip band that everyone's heard of.
Yeah.
That's not actually hip.
See? There's the pretense.
They're like the entry level hip.
It's funny because that is exactly what they were for me.
Yeah.
And it's not really fair that they're ascribed something like that. Because I think they're really good.
They're good.
Although I can honestly see why people don't like him. The lead singer.
It's not for everyone.
His voice is weird.
It's not for everyone.
I'm kind of into weird sounding lead singers. Like, what?
Oh, no. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just going to make a point. Sorry.
What was your point?
Just that even though the Decemberists are my favorite band, I think my favorite album might be In the Airplane Over the Sea by Neutral Milk Hotel.
That's a really good album.
It's their best album.
Uh,
Unless you want to say it's on Never Island, in which case we can go fight right now.
and let's not fight today. We'll do that later. No, yeah, Neutral Milk Hotel. They're. Oh my gosh!
Who's calling?
On the phone.
Oh, okay.
That scared me. Okay, give us a second. We're gonna try to figure this out. Okay, on. Turn the button on.
Okay. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. we can hear you. Who is this? Hello. Oh, welcome to the Three Amigos Radio. I'm sorry. We're so excited. We're freaked out right now. Okay, welcome to the Three Amigos Radio Show. Who is this? Or hello? Are you there?
There's a delay. Remember?
It's not this one. We're not calling Mars, Matt. So I don't think they might not be able to hear us through their phone very well.
Oh, I wonder.
In fact, I think they might be hearing us through this.
I think they are.
It actually might help to be listening to the radio as well as while you're on the phone. Are you still there, caller? I heard them say hello.
I did too.
And
John, put the phone to your ear and talk to them. I want to see if that works.
Hello? Hello? No, I don't think it's hooked up right because we can hear them. I don't think it's hooked up like that because we can hear them through the studio.
Okay.
I'm gonna hang up the phone. If you want to talk to us, please call again.
Call again. We'll try to figure it out.
All right, so that was our. I thought I might even have recognized. It sounded.
Okay,
we'll
try it again. Okay, we'll try it again.
Okay, you're on. Or are you?
Hello?
Hello. Who is this?
Hello?
Hello. Welcome to the Three Amigos Radio Show. Is this Jared?
No.
Who is it?
It's Jared.
Who is it?
This is Mike.
Who's Mike?
Wait, is this Mike? No, this is Jared, I think.
Don't talk to the caller like that.
Well, okay, Jared and Mike are two of my friends from high school. This sounds like Jared's voice. Through the...
Hello?
Is he just doing this just to say hello?
I think he might be messing. Although I don't know because I called in once and it was really hard to hear.
Hey, what do you want to say, person? What is going on?
I think we might have a stalker. Oh wait. I think it is Jared because it looks like he's about to say something. It is really hard to hear. I hung up. Yeah. Yeah, the phone doesn't work very well. Okay.
Thanks for letting us know that you hung up, Jared. Oh, we tried.
Alright, I do appreciate, and then he just sent me, hello.
Oh my gosh,
okay.
now he's gonna keep calling us. Jared, it's not gonna work. Why do we have to place it there?
I don't know.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, hi. Welcome to the Three Amigos Radio Show.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear...
Us?
Yes.
Can anybody hear me? I don't remember if that's the line.
But can our listeners hear him?
I don't know.
Hey, say something, man.
So anyway, what do you want to say?
Living my dream.
What?
Don't judge me.
We're not judging you. John, I think you have to talk to the mic, John.
That is a judgmental thief.
Hey,
Why are you so judgmental, man?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be. This
Yeah.
is just who I am.
The microphone, or the telephone, just doesn't work very well.
Why do we
I
tell
don't
people?
know what anyone's saying.
Wait, are you asking why did we tell people that it doesn't work well?
Why did we tell people to call us?
Because I didn't realize it didn't work this well.
Well, hey, now we know.
That's true. Never call us again.
But wait, I want him to say something again.
Yeah, so anyway, do you have How's it going? Anything you wanted to say,
The
or
reception would be better if I wasn't on my toilet.
Ah.
it probably would be. Who is this calling? Hello?
John, let's hang up.
All right. Thanks for calling.
We should try. Okay,
I didn't recognize that voice.
I think he's just gonna call again. I know it. Okay, I think
Um,
I think it was going through our stream because I could see the volume bouncing. So I think our listeners could hear him. So
Okay. Well,
hey, thanks for calling.
actually, yeah. Thanks. Please never call us again.
He's just gonna do it again. We have 4 minutes. Oh man, we need to talk about next week.
Wow, Jared just tweeted, musically I'm a bit of a hipster. My favorite band is one of the most mainstream indie folk bands. They are very,
That was one of our points, though.
it's the popular conception of what a hipster is. I'm not real hipster. Well, I'm into a few bands that aren't very big, but I'm not that into them, and I'm not into that many.
Okay, so yeah, our listeners could hear him, but we got 4 minutes. We got Brandon
Yeah,
outside.
and there's actually a show after us. You
Yeah,
guys,
you guys should
stay and
stick
listen.
around. Oh my gosh.
All right, I'm just gonna.
No wait.
So anyway,
He just hung up on the phone again.
we don't have time for that now. You can call next week.
Yeah, we have a show. Oh
All right,
my
okay.
gosh.
I'll answer this.
Just answer it and leave it on. Hi.
Hello.
I can't hear it.
Hello.
Okay, we got it.
Okay.
No, leave it off. Leave it off. Leave it
Okay.
off.
All right.
Leave it off.
All right. Okay. So,
this last 10 minutes turned into a train wreck. This is funny. Yeah, there's a show on afterwards.
is it trance music?
That's
Yeah.
what he said. It's Brandon Yates. He's a filmmaker. I know him.
Yeah.
He's a DJ, so he comes on it, and I think he mixes live. So if you want to listen to music
that's
afterwards,
fine.
just leave it on. Just because he's a nice guy and he's after us, so
Yeah,
it's
you
nice.
should check it out.
Uh,
Sounds cool.
Yeah, we listen to it. But we need to talk. We need to talk about next week. We need to talk about next week because it's important, and we've been building it up in our own minds, and now we need to build it up in their minds.
Yeah. Ooh. They need to join in on the hype.
There needs to be hype for this, guys. John, I'll let you go for it.
So, as many of you may be aware, next week is the week of All Hallows Eve.
Hallows Eve.
The spookiest of holidays.
The spookiest, and some think it's the best. They're wrong, but some think that. So
And does anyone think that?
yes, I know of people who do.
Oh, wow. Well, we can talk about that next week.
We can't, but
During the first annual Three Amigos Spooktacular.
the Halloween Spooktacular is coming to the airwaves next week.
Be there and possibly still be square.
Yes, but be a spooked square. I botched that.
Good job, Matt.
But yeah, we're gonna have our friend Jeremiah Crisp.
Oh yeah,
He's gonna be joining us.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna dress up as spooky things.
we are. It's gonna be spooky.
It's gonna get spooky. What do we have on the docket? What did we have written down?
We're gonna share our stories of Halloween's past.
We are maybe share some spooky tales.
Oh, some spooky stories.
Really quick, John. Do you want to talk about the Wheel of Spook?
Sure.
Okay, I got permissions to talk about this. There's gonna be what we call it's my idea, so it's probably gonna fail. The Wheel of Spook, which is it's a wheel that we're gonna have here in the studio with us, and we're gonna spin it, and it's gonna land on different things, different
Spooky things.
spooky things, perhaps.
All right.
Do you want to? Yeah, let's start signing off.
Yeah, it's 9:59.
We got a
All
lot.
right. This was the Three Amigos radio show. I'm John.
I'm Matt.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for calling, even though it was a terrible idea.
us asking you to call, not calling. Calling was a great idea. But thanks for calling. If the callers want to send me a message on Twitter to let me know who that was, that would be appreciated. Good night.
We'll see you next week on the Spooktacular.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Oh, that last 10 minutes. My mom says the phone is a terrible idea. Thanks, Mom. Oh, that was too funny. So it wasn't Jared.
No. And the first...